Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of One Piece. Last time we had a big fight going on between Wapol and Luffy and Sanji, and we find out that Wapol turns himself into a giant house, in which then he eats up his two henchmen, and like the Chimera Ant, fused them together into one whole creature, which is pretty freaking frightening and horrifying that he could do that, and very gruesome. But that munch munch fruit that he could do all that. I mean, oh my gosh. Ugh. Mm. Uh, but then, of course, he ended up getting skinny when he ended up getting skinny and tried to use this ultimate cannon that failed. So it looks like we're coming near the end of the fight. It looks like it, but we won't know soon until soon enough. Meanwhile, Usopp and Zola are trying to get Dalton up to the mountain because Usopp wants to be the man of the sea. How adorable! All right, so uh, let's not waste any time. Let's get reading. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 151, The Skies of Drum. A rope was wrapped around a large tree, the house that once belonged to Koreha. It was stretched up to the mountain and heading up to the top where the battle ensued. The townspeople had gathered around as they watched on, and were shocked to see the rope leading up to the top. "The village can't stumble onto it," the townsfolk said. "We were surprised to see a rope right here. This used to be Dr. Correa's old house." "Hey, is this safe for this many people?" one of them screamed out as the cart was slowly making its way up the mountain with everybody in tow. "We can't let Dalton fight alone. He's injured." And as the crowd started pumping their fists in the air and waving their weapons around, they scream out, "We want to fight too! I understand, but this thing won't move." On board with Dalton nursing his wounds and taking long, deep breaths from the pain. Vivi checked on him and said, "Dalton, don't overdo it. Now." And Usopp pointed out at the pilot, "Paddle harder, harder!" And then Zolo smiled as he looked out at the whole landscape. What a great view! And as Dalton imagined Walpole's angered face and remembered what he said in his memories, "Who do you think you are, Dalton?" He wiped the sweat off his brow as he remembered laying on the ground with Wapol towering over him. "You said there was no medicine for stupidity. But who's the stupid one now?" And the wind laughed. Ooh. Wapol clutched Dalton's neck and closed it and strangled it up. "So, you think you're some hero to save the people? Know your place, Vassal," Wapol screamed at him. "After a week in this cell, you'll realize the error of your ways. This insurgency was a passing fancy. It won't last." And he stepped on Dalton's hand in the dungeon. Oh, sorry. Kudo stomped on Kudo's hand in the dungeon and, uh, and looked and leaned close to his face. "The people trust you, comrade. You're an excellent god. Think it over, Dalton." And he continued stepping on the hand a little bit more until he finally gave up. And Chess walked over and delivered a kick to Dalton's face. "That was a doctor that saved you. He filled your head with dreams. What good will some of sacrificing your status and ruining the country?" Wapol laughed out loud and said, "Just say you're sorry, and I'll forgive you, Dalton." Dalton snapped out of his flashback, looked up at the mountain, grimaced his teeth, and said, "Ugh, who cares about status? Who cares about the king? And the wind laughed at him. Ooh. Meanwhile, at the top of the mountain, Luffy's hand clutched Wapple's face, slowly crushing it, slowly stretching it like putty. And the bird continued chirping, gurgle, 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 gurgle. And little ones jumped out of the cannon that was used as a nesting ground. Let's see. And that's when Wapple screamed out, "Because you're a pirate? You think my status doesn't matter? You're an idiot, Straw Hat. The Drum King is..." Luffy crushed his face a little further, and he fought through it. "A member of the world government. You've committed an international crime." Wapple clutched Luffy's arm, struggling to get it off his face, as the vice grip continued to press further. As Luffy's veins bulged out of his muscles, he replied back, "Dude, I don't care about that either. I'm gonna beat you up, starting with crushing your face like a little lemon. Are you insolent?" And he crushed it even further. "I'll digest you." He opened his mouth wide, and Luffy's hand fell inside the mouth. But something happened, and Wapple said, "Huh?" Luffy's finger stretched out so wide it made it difficult for Wapple to even reach into Luffy and put him inside his teeth. Hey, dude, just try and eat me. I'm totally lacking in flavor. I'll just be nothing but gum to you. To which then suddenly Wapple I wonder how I could do that. Wapple screamed out,
Not yet. Multiple mutation.
and a giant cannon slid out of his throat,
Come.
and Luffy was caught off guard. His tongue turned into a cannon. Not righteous.
Duh.
Wah! And the explosion happened to the sound of a kaboom. It blew a piece of the roof off, sending smoke into the air. The loud bang rattled the area, and the smoke smoldered out of the hole as Chopper and Kareha looked up to the sound of the wind laughing. Woo! Meanwhile, back on the gondola, Dalton coughed up blood to the sound of gag. "Dalton!" Phoebe says. She checked on him and kept him from lurching over. Everyone looked on, both in anger and sadness, as he struggled to stay alive. "Oh, I must end this then. It's the only way," he said. And he remembered his conversation with everyone. "Politics is about power, not feelings," Chess said in Dawn's memories. "Pardon and order that matter," Kudo said. And one of the doctors was being manhandled by the guards. "Please stop! I have patients I need to tend to," he said to Wapple. To which Wapple ordered, "Throw him into the sea. If he resists, kill him. Let me go." And Don dropped down on his hands and knees, and pounded onto the floor. "Oh, who cares about power and order?" And he remembered Hiruluk. "Thank goodness, no one's sick," he smiled. And and he remembered Princess Vivi hugging Igaro Boy. "You're magnificent, Princess Vivi." The memories flashing so fast, so quickly, pounding into his head, it angered him more and more. As blood poured out of his nose and mouth, and veins bulged out of it, his convictions became so strong. "Ugh, what's so wrong? about wanting your country to have a heart. And Vivi immediately gasped, covering her mouth. Realized at the statement, everyone was completely silent as they reflected on that on what Dalton said. And Usopp uh, took that to heart as the gondola rose up. Dalton! The crowd screamed out, and that caught Zolo's attention. Dalton pulled out a rope of dynamite all tied together with a skull and crossbow on it. Dalton bended knee addressed the crowd. Ah, now listen, people. When we get there, and I enter the castle, I want you all to take cover. It's dynamite! And the wind laughed as the snow continued falling down in the castle. Ooh. Inside, Wapple laughed and pointed at where Luffy once stood after he had fired his tongue cannon. You fool! You let down your guard. Nope, dude, you did. Luffy appeared from behind and Kung Fu gripped his Wapple's shoulder to the sound of whap. What? And Wapple's eyes bulged out as Luffy planted what's he doing? Oh, okay. Okay. I have no idea what he's doing at this point, but what I do know is that he's saying 1 and 2. Whatever he did it, and it got Wapple screaming, "What? What are you doing?" Yep, Luffy completely wrapped his arms around his whole. Did he wrap his whole body or something? Like he rolled his body up like a fruit roll up, like one of them fruit roll ups. He's giggling. He did as Wapple screamed, "Stop! Stop!" As he continued hearing the sound of Wamps slamming his back. Luffy got his wind up and screamed out, "Gum gum!" And Wapple, unsure of what's happening, struggled to break free of Luffy. No! And Luffy spun his body with Wapple in tow, screaming out, "Bogun!" And all of a sudden, Wapple flew into the air and slammed right into the top of the spire. The tip burst out, and Wapple was wedged into the whole thing. He couldn't move, and his teeth broke, and his nose bled out. "Gasp!" he screamed out as he stared at the flag flapping in the wind at the top of the other tower. It was almost as if Hiroluke was laughing at him as the wind continued to let the flag fly proud. Luffy made his way up to the top and stared at Wapple as he freaked out at Luffy's presence. Alright. Luffy punched his fists together, making the sound of a wham. "If you're not willing to put your life on the line, then don't ever touch the skull and crossbones, dude." And Luffy stretched his arms across the entire landscape until the tip of his fingers overlapped the town below. How many miles is that? Luffy screams out, "Gun, gun, gun, gun!" "What? I'll give you a title, medals!" Wapple screamed out. "Gun, gun!" Luffy's palm of his hands cast a shadow over the town. Look, at the top of the castle! Someone's up there! Everyone screamed out from the gondola as as Chopper watched on in amazement. Doctor, a jump kingdom is. And Kureha replied, the king has lost the skull and crossbones. Wow. Luffy continued to stretch his arms out to its limit. Screamed out, "Grah!" Wapol screams out, "Oh, hello, Ice King!" And Luffy unleashed his attack, Bazooka! And he crossed his arms like an X. His legs stretched out with the full force of physics, and he struck Wapol in the face. And the man and the dude somehow exploded as he was knocked off the top of the tower that he was stuck on. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 152, Full Moon. The gondola slowly made its way up to the mountain. It reached the dock and landed inside the port. As everybody disembarked, the Usopp gave a thumbs up to the crowd and said, "I'll go take a look. You all wait here." Meanwhile, the snow started covering the metallic jaw of Wapol, and Solo and Usopp climbed out onto the roof. Hey, stop pushing. All right, I'll help you. If you're scared, wait here with them. I'm not scared because I. And that's when they heard Luffy scream out, "Grah!" What? They looked up as they saw him diving down like Superman, straight at them. Oh, Zolo dude, Usopp dude, Luffy. And Luffy crashed right into them. Plume of snow lifted up into the air as everyone screamed, "Wah!" And Kureha watched down with a sweat drop hanging off her hair. So Zolo sat up and screamed, "What are you doing?" "Oh, dudes, your clothes look familiar, so I thought you were some more of his men. So you guys climbed up here too, eh?" He started rubbing his head as Usopp laid out. Oh my gosh, with eyes bulging and nose bleeding. "I thought you couldn't climb, Usopp," Luffy said as Usopp stood up and stretched his back as he wobbled side to side. "Oh, don't be silly. I climbed like a mountain goat, but this climb was a real adventure." And BV arrived and explained, "We used to love play, Luffy. Are Nami and Sanji okay?" "Ah, they're fine, dude." "Oh, when that vulture attacked, I was surprised," Usopp said as everyone ignored him. "Oh, thank goodness." It flew right for my heart, but at the last moment, I leapt to the side of it with my usual." Usopp continued as he tried to get as he lost all of his senses from that attack. "So," Zolo said, "what were you doing at the top of the castle?" "Kicking the king's butt, dude," Luffy said as Dalton emerged from the dock. And Usopp continued on with his story. "Leave it to Captain Usopp, where all the stars that the mid-flight. All I saw is that Usopp." And Dalton approached Luffy, passing by a very injured and disoriented Usopp. "Ugh, so that thing that flew across the sky earlier was wild, but what are the other two?" And Luffy explained, "Dude, the reindeer clobbered them." He was righteous. Then he looked over at Usopp. Oh yeah, dude, listen, I found a new mate. What? Usopp said, getting his orientation back. The end took care of Appa's men. And there he sees, and as he sees Chopper by the tree, hiding behind the tree. The blue nose. And Chopper was very scared because he remembered what happened before when Dalton stopped him from attacking and telling him to stop. Yo, that creature, he fought for us. And he dropped down on his knees and bowed his head. Thank you. This land would be born again. Chopper was confused, as well as everyone, as to what Dalton was doing. He was very hesitant to reply, expecting to get into a fight. But then suddenly, Luffy saw the crowd, the townspeople gather around. Huh? Where's that weird creature? It's a reindeer. It's a monster. Leave him alone, you idiots. Dalton screamed out. A monster! Usopp eyes bulged and started shivering as Chopper got scared and scurried off into the forest. And Luffy immediately punched Usopp upside the head. You idiot! That's my new mate, dude. What? That thing? Now you scared him off for good. He ain't coming back. Whoa! Wait, reindeer dude. We're not gonna make lunch of you. We're gonna make you a doctor. Hey! The crowd, the townspeople screamed out. When suddenly someone arrived. You people. And the townspeople freaked out as Dalton turned his attention. Oh, okay, it's Dr. Kureha. You people. And everybody was screamed out, Dr. Kureha! Happy to meet me. Take that injured man and get to the infirmary. I love you. And the crowd screamed, okay. While Nami and Sanji hid behind the corner, hiding from the doctor, they whispered, Nami, you better go and get treated. Be quiet. If I go back there, we'll have to wait 2 more days before we can set sail for Alabasta. Do you want Diva to get even more despondent? She hushed. And suddenly, Dr. Kureha kicked the wall off, making them both scream, Get back to the infirmary, you fools! And she started slapping them and snapping their bodies together as the blizzard screamed out, ah! And Sanji laid on the bed, strapped down near butt naked, as Nami found herself back in bed with a big blanket over her, and Dalton in another bed with his wounds bandaged and sutured. Yeah, well, this was you overdid it, she said as she started drinking the alcohol. Dalton, do you know where the key to the castle's weapon storeroom is? Weapon storeroom. What are you going to do, woman? That's my business, she said. She guzzled up some more alcohol. Wobble always kept that key on his person. If that's still true, then it went flying with him. What? Is that true? Then that's a problem. And Nami sat up with a smile on the face and a wink. Doctor, how about waving the fee for treating our crew and releasing me immediately? What? Impossible. What a silly thought. And I'll be taking the good care of the goods and the treasure on your ship as a payment. And you're going to stay here and rest for 2 more days. Nami, she's right. Let her finish your treatment. Vivi interjected. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't feel like I'm going to die at all now. That's not a convincing argument, Vivi replied. Is this the key? Nami presented the storeroom key. You want it so badly? Ah, you want so badly. What? You'd had of it. Is that really it? How'd you get it? Ah, I stole it. You've got a lot of guts bargaining with me. Kureha leaned into Nami's face as she giggled, as Nami giggled back. Clever girl. To which Nami makes a little raptor sound. Kureha took the key and slipped on her jacket, walking away. Fine, your count is paid in full. But as for releasing you, forget it. As a doctor, I can't. Ah, wait a second. Give me my key back. The Kureha immediately turned around and pointed at Nami as the crowd continued to watch this whole entire conversation going. Now you listen here, girl. I'm going down the stairs for a little while. My coat is in a drawer in the back room, and I don't have any cards posted. And the boy with the broken back's treatment is complete. However, I thought that you tried to sneak it away. You others, she pointed at the crowd, you coming with me. I have a bigger job for you. And the crowd screamed out, okay, and left the whole entire room. Nami threw her hands up in the air. Ah, did she just tell me to take her to court, get Snanji and sneak it away? I think so, Phoebe replied, and Dalton took note of that. As the sun rose high over the blizzard sky, Chopper sat down and looked up at the castle spire. I should have ran around a lot. It's already dark. Oh, it's a full moon. As he noted, it is indeed a full moon and not a blazing sun. Somehow the moon can be seen within the cloudy sky as the snow continued to fall down. And Luffy screamed out, "Reindeer dude!" To which Chopper thought, "He's still looking for me. Let's be pirates together, dude. You're total righteous." Usopp, building a snowman, called out to Luffy, "Give it up! You're wasting your time." To which Zoro concurred, "He doesn't want to be a pirate." "You're wrong, dude. I'm bringing him with us." "Yeah, against his will." To which and Zoro said, "Yeah, against his will? You fool." Chopper thought to himself as he's listening on to the conversation. "It's not that I don't want to go." "Reindeer dude!" Luffy screamed out. I can't go. I can't go." He shook his head violently as Luffy screamed out again, "Reindeer dude!" And Chopper stood out in the open, looking at Luffy, Zolo, and Usopp. "Reindeer dude, let's go be pirates together. You're righteous." To which Chopper thought to himself, "I can't. I'm not like them." And then he said out loud, "It's an impossible." "It's not impossible, dude. Piracy is cool." "He just doesn't get it," Usopp said to Luffy. Chopper lowered his head, keeping his hat veiling over his eyes in shadow. "I'm grateful to all of you." And that's when Nami took notice. "Chopper." She looked out in his direction as he squinted his eyes, and he screamed out, "But I'm a reindeer," he said to the whole crew. "I have antlers and hooves and a blue nose. Do you not see how ugly I am?" And that's when Nami remembered what Kureha said. "Can you hear his heart?" Luffy was felt so sad and was ready to shed tears as Chopper continued on. "Of course I want to be a pirate, but I'm not a human like you are. I'm a monster. People are scared of me. You even want to eat me and make me your veal, your venison. I can never be a part of your group like that, but I just wanted to thank you, so..." And he calmed down. "Thank you for asking me. I'm gonna stay here, but please..." Nami listened on with saddened eyes. "Come back someday. When you feel like it, I'll make you a good warm meal that won't poison you. And especially if you are injured, I'll be able to take good care of you. And that's when Luffy screamed out with his fist pumped up into the air and his hat flying off his head, and everyone turned to his direction. Just shut up and come with us, dude. You're awfully righteous. and Chopper shed tears and his nose watered up as Nami giggled, and Zolo grimaced his teeth. Yeah, that ought to change his mind. Uh, Usopp smiled, Vivi smiled. Sanji, however, winced in pain, and everyone screamed out, why, and yeah. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, chapter 153, Here Luke's Cherry Blossoms. So, with everything now settled, and the crew sitting out in the freezing cold snow, somehow unaffected by the suddenly dropped temperature, Luffy sat on the base of the snowman, of a giant snowball, and looked out at the crew. Alright, dudes, let's say goodbye to the old dog and that Dalton guy. Nami, to which Nami pleaded, we should let the Chopper go in alone. This could be a tearful farewell. The doctor acts tough, but she has a kind heart, she said. Are we really going then? Usopp asked. Of course. When Chopper returns, we'll go right down the mountain and set sail for Alabasta. And Luffy continued on jumping, playing around in the snow. She looked over at Vivi with a big smile. Does that make you happy, Vivi? Yes, especially since we'll have a doctor now. She looked with a smile on her face. Doctor? Luffy was trying to figure out what the heck they were talking about. Alright then, I'll go check on the ropeway, Usopp said. Luffy, come help me. There's a ropeway? Cool, dude. God, Luffy. Why, Luffy? Meanwhile, back inside the castle, Kureha opened the door to the infirmary and saw Dalton resting on the bed. Oh, there aren't as many patients as there used to be, she said, as she placed her hand on her hip and looked at the now quiet area. Ugh, they're gone. They disobeyed your orders. I see it. Bunch of troublemakers. She pulled the bottle out of her jacket somehow, pop open the cork, and started drinking. A doctor, she heard from outside. It was Chopper standing at the door, looking up at her. A doctor, I need to talk to you. I've been looking for you, Chopper, she said. Go down and help haul out the carnets. Please, listen, doctor. I'm going to become a pirate. I'm going with them. A what? She looked down at the reindeer. I'm going off to sea. I'm going to be the ship's doctor and sail around the world with them. Don't you talk nonsense, she screamed out. And Chopper became quiet. You're my only assistant. And who was it that taught you the medicine? Don't you have an ounce of gratitude in you? Of course I do. He waved his hands up. I'm very grateful to you, but to you and to Dr. Hiddleston, and I love this place. Then stay here. She took another sip of her drink. You'll never get another chance to live in a castle like this. Pirates are a worthless scum. She continued drinking her alcohol. You'll end up dead for sure. I don't care. Enough. Who ever heard of a sea-going reindeer? That's right. I am a reindeer, you racist. But I'm a man too. I have cojones, as they say. Oh? Present them. Not here in front of Dalton. Well, good for you, but I won't allow it. If you go and you'll do it on my dead body. A gulp. He immediately slammed his back onto the wall as as her knife passed right past him and wedged into the brick. Doctor, please understand. A crybaby like you're man. You're not going anywhere. She started throwing more knives at Chopper as he started running away, dodging every single blade coming at him. Go And that caught the attention of townspeople below as they were moving all the weapons and cannons out of the storage area. What's all that racket? One of them screamed out. Just ignore it. Let's finish this up quick. If we don't hurry and get these cannons in place, she'll come after us with a cleaver next. And that's when they heard her scream out, "Hold it!" And the townspeople was like, "Huh?" They looked around, saw Kureha throwing more knives. This time they were all in the way. "I want to let you get away." Chopper flew right past everybody with knives following him. Go on! And as the noise echoed throughout the castle, Usopp looked up. "Awful noisy in there." And to which Zolo replied, "What a bunch of rowdies. Can't they control themselves?" And Chopper pulled his sleigh. He attached the rope to it and started trotting off as he transformed into his reindeer form. "I'm sorry, Doctor," he thought to himself, "but I want to see the world." And Kureha continued throwing knives and screamed out, "What will you accomplish by going to the sea? Are you going to chase your silly dreams like that old quack?" And the flag flapped, Luke's pirate flag flapped in the wind. And Chopper looked back at her. "You're wrong. They're not silly. The doctor's research was completed," he screamed out. And Solo saw Chopper coming out of the gates. "Is that him?" he said. "Huh? What's going on?" Nami says. She watched the Chopper pull the sleigh. "Hey, someone's chasing him!" the Phoebe screamed out. "Hey, the ropeway's ready!" "Huh? Dude? Everybody, get in the sleigh. We're going down to the mountain." "Hold it!" the Kureha screamed out as she threw more knives at them. And Phoebe screamed, "What?" And Usopp screamed, "What?" And everybody was horrified at what transpired. Down below the mountain, in the village, one of the townsfolk pointed up into the sky. "Hey, look! What the heck is that?" "Huh? Oh, it's the witch's sleigh!" they screamed out. As Luffy and the crew go full ET, and the emblem entertainment sign emerged next to them as they flew past the full moon, casting the shadow of themselves, jumping right down to the bottom of the whole entire mountain. And as they ignored the and as they scurried down the ropeway, Dr. Kureha watched from down the mountain in absolute silence. Moments later, let's see. Moments later, everyone watched on as they realized who it was that's coming down the mountain. That was Dr. Correa's reindeer. It came speeding down the mountain like the devil was chasing after her, and those pirates were in the sleigh. What happened up there? What happened to us? Not okay. Woohoo! Woohoo! As everyone listened to to the song, as Chopper trotted everyone away from the whole town, and and Luffy screamed out, "Dude, that was fun. Let's do it again." And Zolo screamed out, "Idiot!" No. Nami screamed out, "Ah, idiot! We have to set sail." I thought I was gonna die." Usopp screamed out, "Where are we?" Sanji snapped out of his coma. Oh, Sanji, you're conscious. Back at the top of the mountain, staring down at the cliff, Dr. Kureha crossed her arms and watched on as the wind tried to laugh but came to a abrupt stop. Ooh, ooh. And Dalton stood right behind her, still nursing his health. And he asked, "Ugh, are you sure? This is what you want?" And Kureha answered, "He was just a charade that got adopted. I don't like a tearful farewells," she said as tears fell down, welled up in her eyes, with a big smile on her face. Dalton knew. And Dr. Kureha turned around and grabbed Dalton. "Follow me." "Oh." "Send up for the ship. It has to be done in a grand style." uh, and as mm, Chopper trotted along, he remembered, but he had memories of Luke that he was leaving behind. "This is it. The reaction I've been waiting 30 years for. Doctor, it wasn't just a silly dream, was it?" He thought. Chopper thought to himself, "You really did achieve your goal, right? Or was that a lie too?" "I did it, Chopper." Chopper remembered his words. "My work is a success." Chopper closed his eyes and grimaced his teeth, holding back his tears. "Did you say that?" he thought. "So I wouldn't be sad when you died. Nothing is impossible for those who fly the flag of the cause of bones. Say it again, Doctor." Meanwhile, back at town. Back at the castle, the cannons all set and aimed directly into the sky. Dr. Kureha screamed out, "Everything I said, the kiddies," and everyone saluted. "Yes, Doctor, a fire." As she remembered, Luke handing her the pouch containing his latest creation. "Listen, Kureha, this powder." And they fired off the missiles into the air and let out a loud boom. "Ugh, Dr. Kureha," Dalton said. "What is this?" "Just a watch," she replied. And as more cannons exploded into the air, all the townspeople looked up, trying to figure out what's going on. "It's coming from the castle. Maybe Walpole is shooting fireworks." "Idiot, that's cannon fire." "Something's happening." The town started panicking. "We're being attacked in the night, so cannon barrage, take cover. Oh my gosh, we're all gonna die. Oh, it's Steve. And back at the mountain, one of the townsfolk saluted to her. "Dr. Grayhair, all the cannonballs have been fired." "Light it up." And everybody looked in horror, pointing out at horror, as they watched the flames fall down from the sky and completely consume them, turning them into all ashes. No, that's not what happened. The Lapins looked up as the night sky became as bright as day. Luffy and the crew with Chopper stared on up, and he freaked out. "Whoa! Whoa!" Chopper couldn't believe what he saw. "Wow!" Vivi screamed out. "Yeah." Solo crossed his arms. "Oh, it's so pretty." Nami smiled as Chopper eyes completely watered up and started pouring out like a waterfall. Dr. Kureha," he thought to himself, and he dropped down to his knees and cried, "Wah! Wah!" And Luffy, with his eyes with his hand on his brow and eyes wide open, and a smile wide as joy. Chopper remembered Luke's words. "This is what I've worked for 30 years for." Kuda, with her hands on her hips, smiled, looking up at the sky as Dalton stretched his arms out. "Ugh, it's like a dream."
What wonders the fools create.
And she remembered the things he used to say. She used to say to him.
Get out, you quack. Bless it, I was sure that lizard eyeballs would do the trick.
Listen, this red powder is no ordinary dust, he said in the flashback. When it comes in contact with white snow in the atmosphere, at Chopper and Kureha remembered Luke's words as Chopper continued crying and crying to the loud sounds of wah. And Kureha's tears became overwhelming. Brilliant pink snowflakes will fall, he said, was Luke's last words. And Dr. Kureha said,
Now then, go on, you foolish boy,
she screamed out as Chopper continued crying as the snowflakes rained down like the cherry blossoms of Japan, and in the newly lit sky. Wait, where's the castle? Where's the castle? Apparently everybody died. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, chapter 154, On to Alabasta. As the castle blew up in the sky, leaving behind what people believe was the color of cherry blossoms, but is in fact blood-soaked snow falling down into the falling down onto the land below. The narrator spoke. Who's the narrator? What was the narrator's voice? Oh, there was no narrator's voice. Well, that's fine. Because, in time, the tale of Hero Luke's cherry blossoms shining in the night would become a symbol of this nameless nation's hard-won freedom. But the birth of a new country with its unusual pirate flag is a story for another time. At the top of the mountain at the castle, Kureha and Dalton sat on the snow, freezing their butts off. Dalton spoke. Ugh, they must have set sail by now. Ain't they continued the legacy of a great physician? Kureha drank her alcohol and replied,
If Hero Luke could bring a cherry blossoms to this frozen land, then I suppose a silly reindeer can become a pirate. He thinks he's a man.
She smiled gleefully at the thought of her protege going out to accomplish a great dream. Dalton smiled despite his injuries. This country will reinvent itself too, just like here did. And the townspeople screamed out, Dalton! Huh?
I'm sorry, I just remembered something very important.
The townsperson said and presented a wanted poster. What is it?
Look at this. That's him, no mistake.
There's a bounty of 30 million berries on the boy's head.
That's very impressive.
Kureha replied and drank. Dalton then looked at the townspeople and asked, where'd you get this?
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. About a week ago, a traveler prepared in Roby Blue Town. It was a strange day. It didn't snow. We don't know how he got there.
Yeah, but he said he was pursuing Blackbeard, the pirate who ravaged our country. When we told him that Blackbeard was long gone, oh my gosh, who is this? Who is this? Oh dang, who is that? Is that Mr. Zero? Should I risk it? Should I give him the... It's definitely not, what's his name? I guess that's him. All right, I'll take a chance. I'll give him the Scottish voice. Thumbs down. Yes, they all died. It's like, boo, they lived. Okay, I think I'll take the chance. Go with the Scottish voice here. Then let me ask you. Hold on a second. No, I'll give him the integrity voice. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you one more question. Was a pirate wearing a straw hat come through here? And the townsfolk continued his story to Dalton. I told him I never seen such a person, so he gave me this poster and said, "If he shows up here, tell him I'll be waiting for him in Alabasta for 10 days. Make sure you tell him." He pointed at us, and we all complied that we will inform Luffy that he's waiting for him for 10 days.
Hey, wait, what's your name?
Oh yeah, almost forgot. The name's Ace. Ace Ventura. Oh my gosh, I should have gone with... Okay, if I had known his name was Ace. Alrighty then. Yes, okay. His voice suddenly his voice suddenly changed. and dropped his facade. If Luffy shows up, just tell him what I said. He'll understand, okay? Hey, catch that guy. He didn't pay for his food, the chef screamed out. Huh? I'm out of here. Oops, thanks. Ha ha ha. Knock, 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 knock. Ah, I see. But there's no need to pass on that message. Huh? Why not? Because they're heading for Alabasta now. Just a hunch of mine. Kureha looked at the wanted poster as Dalton remembered what Phoebe said.
I feel I've seen you somewhere before.
It must be an imagination. But Dalton understood. He knows he has seen her before and thought to himself, I don't know why you're traveling with pirates, but you must have your reasons. Anyway, you've grown to be a fine woman. And one of the guards looked at Dr. Kureha as she kept reading the wanted poster. Dr. Kureha, what's wrong? You seem distant.
Have you ever heard of a Goldie Roger?
You mean Gold Roger? There's not a soul in the world who hasn't heard of him.
Is that what he's called now?
Oh, right. She lived for over 500 years.
It seems Reindeer will get more than he bargained for.
She says. She continued staring at the wanted poster. No! Oh! No!
So the will of D lives on.
No! Are you serious? Gold Roger is part of the Monkey D. Luffy family. Oh no! I gotta note this. Jim Carrey. I'll do Jim Carrey. Oh no! I gotta note this. Gold Roger is Gold D. Roger. Wow, what a revelation. Oh, that is so awesome. Oh my gosh, please. Oh my gosh, the D. What does the D mean? Oh no, this is insane. Oh my gosh, yes, give me the loopy eyes in the chat room. Oh my gosh, I know, slowing down on this, aren't I? Moments later, the merry-go has set sail into the sea with the moonlit sky shining bright over them as the snow continue falling down on them as they get further and further away from the unknown island that is now freed of a tyrant. They begin celebrating as Luffy stuck a couple of straws up his nose and used them to stretch his face down. and everyone laughed with joy. Usopp screamed out, "This is great! There's a full moon and a sky full of cherry blossoms!" Chopper! Hey, Chopper, Hey, Chopper, just gonna sit there and stare all night? Drake, come here and drink! Usopp called out as Chopper sat on the banister looking out into the ocean. Luffy approached Nami with those straws in his nose and mouth. "Nami, dude, look, I learned this from Yosaku." Meanwhile, Sanji received a drink of liquor. "Those cherry blossoms were great! I never expected to see a sight like that in Snow Country." "Yeah," Solo smiled. "This calls for a celebration." And Nami screamed out at everybody, "Ah, you guys! Can't you show a little sympathy for them?" "Why, Karoo's alive," Luffy said. "What's the big deal?" As he watched Karu and Vivi hug each other in tears.
Karoo, how did you end up in the frozen river?
Gawak. Oh my gosh. We flash back to Karu in the frozen river, completely stuck in the ice, as Phoebe screamed out, "Karu!" And she continued hugging him and rubbing the blanket to warm up her duck mount. Karu pointed his feather over at Zolo. "Huh, he probably slipped. Clumsy." And Vivi screamed out,
Shut up, Mr. Bushido.
uh, as oh dang. Chopper turned around and and turned around. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense. Chopper turned around and translated. "Akaru says that Solo was swimming in the river and he disappeared. So he dove in to save him, and he got frozen in the eyes." And Nami immediately punched Solo in the back of the head.
Ah, it was your fault.
And Vivi Chopper's translation caught Vivi's attention.
Oh, you can understand Karoo says, Chopper.
Sure, I'm originally an animal, but now I'm a man. A man with a little presentation down here at the crotch area.
Ah, that's an amazing, Chopper.
Nami clapped her hands.
Then the medicine isn't your only talent.
And he went quiet for a second. Then, with a big smile on his face, he clapped his hands. "Stupid. I'm completely immune to your flattery. It is silly." To which Luffy and Zolo pointed out, "You don't seem that immune." "Nah, dude, you're not immune." Sanji took a long puff of his smoke. And he asked Nami, "What was that medicine about?" "What?" And that's when the crowd screamed, "What, you're Dr. Chopper?" And Nami consoled Chopper as he was shocked of everyone's ignorance.
Ah, you didn't know? Then what was it about the Chopper that impressed you so much?
He's a reindeer, dude. That could do 7 transformations. That's righteous. "Also," Sanji said, "an emergency food supply. Have you ever had venison?" Chopper froze in place and turned around. "Darn it. I came down the mountain so quickly I forgot my medical supplies."
Ah, what's this? It was on the sleigh.
She saw the bag. A doctor's bag. "My backpack, but how?"
Well, you must have put it there. Didn't you pack it for the journey?
She said to Chopper, and that's when his eyes opened wide and realized.
The doctor. She knew what you were thinking all along.
She handed over, and they sat down together as he looked down at the bag and thought of Dr. Kureha.
She is she's a good person.
Only to get interrupted by Usopp and Luffy with straws in their nose and mouths, and Nami screaming out, "Can I have your tour?" Hey Chaba, what you shit? Translated as, "Hey Chopper, want to join us?" As the two trotted along and laughing out loud, and Nami screamed out, "Ah, enough!" Usopp held up a beer stein high into the air. "All right," and blew a whistle. "Attention, everyone! We have a new crew member." Usopp screamed out as he raised the pitcher into the air. And my gosh, this is so chaotic. It is so chaotic as BV tended to Karu, who's now in a drunken stupor. "Karu, are you okay?" "Quack." And oh my gosh, Solo poured more alcohol in his drunken stupor. "Rotten cook, make some more food." Sanji replied, "What'd you call me? I don't take no orders from you." Usopp continued, "Let's all give a welcome to our new ship's doctor, Tony Chopper." and as everyone, as Solo could, my gosh, this is such chaotic, so chaotic. "Hey Sanji, Luffy screamed out, "Sanji, dude, don't we have any more dino meat? Didn't we load up on that?" and and Chopper joined in and stuck the straws into his nose. As he watched the entire crew laugh and play, argue and fight, have a toast and cheer, and he saw Nami's little smile as he heard Usopp scream out, "Let's toast to Chopper!" And with a smile on his face, Chopper said, "This is the most fun I've ever had." "To our new shipmate!" Usopp screamed out, "Hooray!" And the crew raised their beer steins up and screamed out, "Hooray!" And so the merry go sailed for the desert kingdom of Alabasta at maximum speed. Backtracking a bit, a little back in time. Back at Little Garden, the island of giants, where it was all nice and sunny. Let's see. Let's see. This is Mr. Chu. Okay. Let's see. Who? Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Chu Bonclay. Hey, why you? Hey, why? A lot of random stuff is going on the boat. Unfortunately, we don't know who's who talking to who here. All we know is that they're saying in and d and hit and why you and gua and hey why you Wait, is that the? No, it wasn't. It's Bonclay, Mr. Two, Officer Agent Baroque Works, flexing around his clown costume with the cloak and a pair of swans. "This ain't no joke. Just who do you think I am? I'm a follower of the "Oh, come my way" style." He took on his fighting pose, ready to ready to take down his opponent, and he pinned. Is that Mr.? Oh my gosh! Is that Mr. 3? No, that's not Mr. 3. Who is that he's pinning in? Well, I can't recognize him. Is that just a regular guard? It's just a regular guard. "Now tell me," Mr. 2 said, "what were Zero's orders?" To get rid of Mr. 3 between Alabasta and Little Garden. "Right, and so we stayed on course all the way from Alabasta to here," he said as the crew watched on in horror as the crewmate struggled to speak. Ark, ark, ark. And yet, we reached Little Garden without even seeing him. No. Mr. 2 leaned in closer. Perhaps you missed Mr. 3 and let him get away. No, that's not possible. Then how did we come all the way here without seeing him? Am I an idiot? Let me ask you all something. He looked at the crew. Am I an idiot? Mr. Idiot? Mr. Idiot? Which one? No, Mr. Silence! In any case, I can't afford to fail in a simple mission like disposing of Mr. 3, especially now. Failure is not an option. If I mess up, Mr. 1 and his partner will kill me. No joke. Then he looked over at the crew and pointed his kung fu arm at them. Do you understand? And the crew stood in attention and went, eek! If you don't want to end up a victim of my oh come my way Kenpo, find him, find Mr. 3. Take the Swanda back to Alabasta at full spin. Understand? He screamed out as the Swanda boat set sail. Don't let a single vessel get by us, not even a rowboat. And the crew screamed out, aye, aye, Mr. Crank, Mr. Sandy Island, Alabasta. Mr. 1. Oh no, Mr. 0. Mr. 0. Ugh, pirates are in Alabasta. Don't they know that I'm here? He said as, what was, what did I give her? Oh, dang. I think I just gave her a high pitch, didn't I? Oh, no, I gave her the southern accent. Pepper Bottom remembers.
Pepper Bottom remembers. A country in rebellion attracts pirates, Sir Crocodile. Are you going?
He thought to himself. And then he replied, well, I must keep appearances. The 7 warlords of the sea are pirates who crush pirates. We're heroes to the masses. He smiled within the shadow. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, chapter 155, Sir Crocodile the Pirate. Sandy Island, Alabasta, the port town of Nanohana. Pirate with a sword on the neck of a woman as she was in tears and screamed out, Sir Crocodile! The man who was with her, who got beaten up, smiled with tears in his eyes, looking out at the sea. Sir Crocodile! Her? Huh? Oh, Sir Crocodile.
Oh, Sir Crocodile.
I knew he would come.
Yes.
And the pirate, the captain of the pig pirates, screamed out, Crocodile? Huh? It can't be. Oh, wait a second. He's a pig, huh?
Crocodile? It can't be. Crocodile.
And the captain said, the 7 board. Dang it! How can I pull off a pig voice?
And it's the 7 warlords of the sea.
Here we go. Terrible pig voice. Pig pirate. Wow. And what? Oh man, I'm getting thrown off here. I'm actually getting thrown off here. I think that's Crocodile screaming out. I hate when they don't have the speech bubbles pointing in the right place. Silence, you ignorant peasants. I've only come for the heads of those pirates. The pirates looked up in horror.
My hero.
She, the woman on her knees, smiled.
He always says that when he comes to save us.
Alright, Sir Crocodile. But the town folk threw his fist up into the air with a big smile. And there he stood like a true anime character at the very tip of the spire, with his arms crossed and his jacket flapping in the wind, as the townspeople screamed out,
"The guardian deity of Alabaster Crocodile, Crocodile, the king of the desert, Sir Crocodile. Oh my gosh, he's such a drinking bell. Oh my gosh, help my children."
Ah, well, call me what you will, he said. But Daniele, he presented his golden hook. As the crowd screamed out, "Crocodile! Crocodile!" And he looked down at the pirates. Ugh, you think you could pound the alabaster at will, eh? Sir Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, former bounty, 81 million berries. Ooh, we're gonna have a showdown, huh?
Don't take us lightly. You get out of everybody's ship. You know, yeah. You just get me down, sword and sword.
Ugh, those of you who wish to live, take cover. Crocodile screamed out as he jumped in the air like an anime character and dove down like an anime character.
The scary snake,
the pig pirate said. It'll be easy prey for us. He pointed up at the crocodile as he wind up his attack.
Get him, get down straight behind.
Oh! The pirate screamed out. And he landed right before them as every single sword plunged right into his chest and bulged out of his back. And they all smiled.
Now there's only 6 warlords of the sea.
And and Crocodile looked down, unimpressed. His eyes was just so bored. He just like, and a strange light veiled all of them. as everybody was completely consumed. Wow. And they were all buried in the sand. And he raised his hook up into the air. Never moved a muscle. Every sword plunged into him removed. His wounds healing up. He had the most epic, awesome JoJo pose imaginable. Ugh, I'm a different breed of pirate. Swine. And the sky laughed. The townspeople was horrified as they the pirates were horrified as they watched the captain lay out on the ground unmoved, and Sir Crocodile started walking away as the crowd screamed out, "Crocodile! Crocodile! Crocodile! Crocodile!" Cobra. What voice did I give Cobra? Let's see. Let's see. Where's Cobra at? I know I gave him a voice. Oh, I didn't give Cobra a voice? Okay, I didn't give Cobra a voice. Alright. So, as Crocodile walked away, the manga decided to flash back to the days at Alabana Palace in the Kingdom of Alabasta. What would be a good voice for Cobra? He beat us again. Beat us to it again. No, I could still give him a British voice, maybe. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'll give him a Russian voice. All right, I'll give him a Russian voice. Russian voice. So two vassals knelt before the king, giving their report as all the guards stood at attention with giant bladed pikes. By the time we reached Nanohana, it was all over. I see, comrades, but at least the citizens are safe. We are indebted to him. Nefeltari Cobra, king of Alabaster, spoke. Meanwhile, I thought it was a flashback. No, it was just a scene change. Meanwhile, back on the merry-go. Luffy making funny faces as his body sweated, was covered in sweat, and he was whistling. Oh, really, dude? I don't know anything. And Sanji replied, then why won't you look at me? Look me in the eye. Now answer me. Sanji took a long puff of his smoke. I loaded this ship with enough food to last us all the way to Alabasta. So how did it disappear in one night? Sanji crouched before his knelt captain and grabbed him by the cheeks and squeezed it like an orange and shifted to the side. Don't try to fool me. Your face doesn't lie. A gulp, dude. Hey, what's that in your mouth? And Luffy covered his mouth. It's food, dude. And Sanji kicked him into the air and across the deck. It was you! Oof, dude. Oh, man. What the heck is Kudo doing? Oh, okay. Kudo's fishing while munching on steak. Interesting. A duck eating steak. Going munch. And Nami noticed something out in the ocean as Sanji threw his arms off. Oh my gosh, I see. Nami, see what I'm up against? I need to refrigerate the log. It turned out that it wasn't just Luffy that ate the food, but also Chopper, Usopp, and Kudo all ate the dino meat. And they're trying to keep their focuses on catching fish to supply the pantry while making sure they don't get kicked by Sanji. Oh my gosh. And Nami replied, alright, I'll think about it. Our lives may depend on it. As she looked over in the trio's direction, seeing that they that they really royally screwed up. To which Usopp lightly said, I better do some fishing for Sanji. Oh man. Sanji caught the trio and knocked Kudo, Chopper, and Usopp out Nami knocked them out for what they did. And she looked over at Sanji. Hero, so crocodiles are here on Alabasta. The 7 warlords of the sea. Sorry. That's Vivi. Vivi replied, the 7 warlords of the sea are pirates. In the pay of the world government. The citizens really don't care whether they chase the pirates off for treasure or the Navy does it for the sake of justice. Either way, the threat is eliminated. Some hero this guy, Sanji said, as Solo laid splayed across everybody, snoring out loud. Snore. Taking his long nap. Sanji continued, and no one even suspects that his real goal is to take over Alabasta. Luffy replied, throwing his fist up and with fake punches. Whatever, dude. I just have to kick this crocodile guy's butt, right?
Yes,
Vivi replied.
if we can end the rebellion and expel Baroque works from Alabasta, the kingdom will be saved. But
Usopp joined in.
just what kind of outfit is this Baroque works? I mean, what's with all those numbers?
And Zolo slowly woke up, rubbing the crust off his eye. Baroque works, he thought to himself.
Their system is simple.
Vivi explained.
Sir Crocodile, alias Mr. Zero, is at the top, and taking orders directly from him are the agents, 12 people and a beast. They all have code names. The men are numbers, the women are days. Each man is paired with an equally lethal woman. Mr. 13 and Miss Friday are special. They execute Y agents who fail.
Suddenly, an entire chart appeared above Vivi's head as she continued to explain how the entire system of Baroque works.
All agents from Mr. 5 up are called officer agents. Most of them have devil fruit powers. They handle the most important missions. After them come the frontier agents. They command the lower operatives and collect booty for the company at the entrance to the Grand Line. That's the criminal organization known as Baroque Rex.
You got that? Oh yeah, dudes, Luffy said with a smile on his face and his fist pumped down to the air. Then we'll get this crocodile guy. We'll kick his butt righteously. You didn't follow any of that, did you? Sanji said.
So, if Baroque Rex's ultimate goal is to take over Alabasta,
Nami said.
then the remaining officer agents will, yes, be coming together.
And everybody was horrified at the prospect that the entire top dogs of Baroque Works are going to be their next opponents. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. Another arc done. The Wapple arc. That whole entire island arc. We got a new crewmate in Chopper. Luffy delivered one heck of a finish. And everybody lived happily ever after until Luffy and them went out to the sea. Yeah, this was actually a nice finish. This was a very, very good finish. Luffy versus Wapple yielded some of the most gruesome looking images imaginable, where Luffy's fingers are stretched out like that, and then Wapple with that big gaping mouth stretching out the tongue cannon. That is a very, very gruesome detail of art. Like, don't tell me you're not freaked out by that. It was pretty crazy. And he fired his cannon at Luffy. But yeah, this was chapter 151 was all about the fight. It was just about finishing it off while everybody went up the mountain. Dalton, screamed out his conviction. Saying what's so wrong about wanting your country to have heart, which shocked Vivi, being the princess. So basically, this was a little bit difficult for me to figure out what Luffy was doing in these panels here. Like, I think the panel needed to be a little bigger on the lower left there, because I couldn't tell that at a glance that he spun his body up like a croissant. Well, not a croissant, like one of those fruit roll-ups. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't, and it was very difficult to see from that artwork. That needs a little more improvement for this type of attack, because it didn't translate very well when he executed it with the bow gun. It was a little weird. It was a little weird seeing that. But it did accomplish what it was, and that was to slam Wapple into the spire, and he saw the flag. But But yeah, that was actually very, very difficult because the panel was too small for something like that. That should have been a little bit more bigger, so that way I would have noticed that that's what he was doing. He was rolling his body up like that. But ultimately, he delivered the ultimate bazooka. Like, this was such a cool bazooka move, which we get to see in chapter 152, where he stretched it all out, right? Let me see here. Was it here that he stretched it all out? No. Oh, no, it was, oh, it was hard to, oh, okay. I think I skipped the, okay, hold on. I see what I did. It was over here. It was over here. Where is that? There it is. There's the panel. I lost the panel for a second there because this was another. Not just only did we get to see the roll up, his little roll up move, which I hope we get to see in live action. But he really showed the limits of his stretch. Like, he can really get that far, because that's the town down below, and look how far the town is from the mountain, and that's how far he stretched his arms out. That's actually pretty insane that he's able to do that, and that means that he can really stretch for miles if it's that endless. I mean, I thought there was a limit to it, to a stretch, but it's not. This is like Dalsum times 16 Dalsums, if you will. But yeah, that's pretty crazy, knowing that this is like his is this his peak strength, his true strength? I'm not sure, but it is definitely showing that that he's got crazy power. That his power is really high tiered there among the gum users out there, which is pretty crazy, and delivered a very nasty blow and sent Wapol blasting off like Team Rocket. So yeah, the next set of chapters is basically a coda and a transition. You know, everybody gets up to the top. Luffy stupidly thinks his crewmates are enemies as usual because he's dumb. He's so dumb. But basically this was it. For the next two chapters, it's just you know, everybody calming down, setting up what's gonna be the next arc. You know, everybody healing. Luffy wanting. Here we go. Luffy calling out for Chopper to join the crew. Pretty much. Yeah, you know, saying like she was noted that, you know, he was hurting and everything, and he wants to join the group, but the problem is that because he had been abused by both the reindeer and the humans for being a gum character, you know, saying with Hirulook the only one that cared about him, you know, it was very difficult, you know, for him to come to grips with that. But you know, it's very nice facial expressions from Luffy, right there in the middle left here with that little sad face, like he wanted to give him a hug, and same with Nami. That's a very well drawn face there. You know, you could see that she's very pained, hearing Chopper saying all that. You know, and Luffy in true fashion just was like, just shut up, just shut up with all that and come. Who cares? Man. And let me tell you something. Live action, the live action version really captures this. Luffy going like this in live action. It's really cool. It you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fun behind that. Can't wait for season 2. Honestly, can't wait for season 2 live action. But yeah, Chopper decides to join the crew. But you know, he had to let Kureha know he's going to leave, and just like all the others, you know, like Sanji and the captain, you know what I mean? They all go into fights and everything. This kind of repeated itself, I guess. You know, she got into a fight and chased him off. I hope that the next crew member they pull up, we get a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy because Zolo just went along with it and joined. Nami, of course, reconciled with the town. Well, not really reconciled with the town. The town, grew a pair and actually did what they should have done when she was forcefully kidnapped against her will. When she was forcefully kidnapped at his will, and she had a happy farewell. But Usopp was chased out of town. Usopp was chased out of town, and he only had his moment with Kaya, pleasing farewell, and then Sanji had his fight with the captain, but was able to give, yeah. And then over here, Kureha decided to get into an argument and chase them out, throwing knives and everything, because as she pointed out, she's not a big fan of farewells, saying goodbye and everything. So that was her way of saying goodbye, chasing everybody out, and then he goes and takes her sleigh, and and we end up having this Batman-esque moment, this emblem. Let's see, where is it at? Where is it at? Yeah. End up having Emblem Entertainment logo pop up and hit them. But what's interesting about this is that there was just one last thing that had to be resolved, and that was Hiraluke plan, which didn't translate very well image wise, because when she lit the whole thing up. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to get pink or red. Some color, the pink color representing the cherry blossom. It was you can see it was very difficult for Oda to really translate it like that in black and white, and it was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate to get the pink to do pink snowflakes in black and white. I'm sure that if he did a colorized version, it came out nice and clear. But in black and white, it's very sad, what I'm saying, because it was such a great moment. Maybe if he had, instead of doing circles, he did the little heart shapes like the cherry blossoms. What I'm saying, that would have worked. That would have worked a lot better and conveyed the whole thing. But it was just unfortunate, and it didn't help much either that the whole place looked like it exploded and everybody died. Like, everybody's dead. The end. End of the whole thing. So, yeah, Chopper got his little ending, and he joined the crew. And and now we're starting. Let's see, chapter 154 was the setup, basically. With the pirate crew sailing off, into the sea, and I don't recognize him. I don't recognize him. Is that Crocus? I don't know. Is that Crocus? I don't know. Well, he called himself Ace. That's not Crocus. He called himself Ace, but I don't know. That's kind of he just came up out of nowhere. But yeah, at least I was able to play it off, the voice off, and be like, it's Jim Carrey's voice. Alrighty then. That's gonna be a little fun. That's gonna be a little fun. But yeah, he's chasing after Straw Hat, Ace here. So that's very interesting. Probably you probably might know Shanks. That's why you're probably chasing him. But yeah, they found out that they were pirates, and the revelation in this chapter. Oh my gosh! Like, I didn't even put two and two together when she said Goldie Roger, and they're like, "You mean Gold Roger?" And she's like, "Is that what he's called now?" Oh my gosh! My brain exploded. The will of D. Monkey D, Luffy, Goldie, Roger. Oh man, what does that? Oh man, if that's Luffy's ancestor, Gold Roger, if that's his ancestor, oh man, and it makes sense because she has lived for nearly for over 300 years, so she would know Goldie Roger, or at least the reputation of Goldie Roger. Man, like that kind of blew my mind. That blew my mind. I don't know if that was clipped, but I don't know. That was a nice little highlight there. That was a great highlight. And oh man, I wonder if we're gonna learn about that later down the line. That would be so awesome. That would be so awesome. Uh, but basically, the crew celebrated, welcomed Chopper in, having all sorts of fun and whatnot. And we find out that Mr. Two is hunting down Mr. Three because Mr. Three failed, and he coming in with his little oh come my way lifestyle. Oh man, let me tell you something. The designs of these pirates is just so cool. You know what I'm saying? But we still get like that generic look. But like we'll see in the next chapter when Crocodile takes on this pig pirate. But the designs of these villains can be so creative and so remarkable. You know what I mean? Like it could be so inventive. I'm surprised that he got hairy legs. Usually, you know, that's I don't know if that changed, but I remember back in the 80s and 90s, you know, you weren't supposed to have body hair on anime characters whatsoever, except for the arms and I guess well, it's the first time I'm seeing legs with hair. It's usually the arms that would have the hair on it. Back in the 90s. Especially when it's like older captains and such, you would see their hairy arms and whatnot. But yeah, body hair has a lot of restrictions in that regard. But yeah, Mr. Two is hunting down Mr. Three, and Crocodile, Mr. Zero himself, went out on a mission to deal with some headaches, taking on the little pig pirates. I gotta say, it's pretty insane seeing the people like this. You know what I'm saying? They got these smiles and tears in their faces. Um, it's almost like they're hysterical. They're out of their minds and such. It's pretty insane. How they see Crocodile, Sir Crocodile. You know, and then of course we got the pig pirate. He's very generic. So I guess he was cannon fodder for Oda to show just how powerful Crocodile can be and what Crocodile can do, which is pretty insane. Honestly, I should have given Crocodile an Australian accent. I should have went with an Australian accent with Crocodile instead of Scottish. I didn't even consider that. Crocodile Dundee. All right, mate. What are you trying to do here? I should have done that. I haven't done Australian in quite a while. Actually, since the first arc. I haven't done Australia, since the first arc. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do Australian next time. I'll have to find somebody to do Australian. But but yeah, this is kind of very disturbing artwork here. You know what I'm saying? They're in tears, but they're like in pain. You know what I'm saying? Screaming out for Mr. Crocodile. That you know what I'm saying? Like they're terrified of Mr. Crocodile, of Sir Crocodile, but they're happy and in tears. It's the fact that Oda captured so many different emotions at once in a face. It's amazing. This is very impressive. How he did that. But yeah, Crocodile. Seems to be. He's gonna be a freaking. He's gonna be freaking tough for Luffy and the gang. If he's gonna be anything like what's his name? So many names. There's just so many characters. Whew, so many characters. If he's anything like what's his name? Crap. Did I lose his name? Let's see. Sav, Shanks, Usopp. Mm. Mm. Arlong. There we go. Now I remember. Arlong. If Sir Crocodile is going to be anything like Arlong, oh, damn, that's going to be one heck of a fight. That's going to be an amazing fight, man. I'm looking forward to that because he's one of the seven warlords of the sea, and we've already met Mihawk. Awesome guy, like him. We already met Mihawk, and yeah, these warlords really are really don't play around, man. They really don't play around because whoo, you want to introduce his power? Just look at this. It's like he buried them in the sand with his hook up in the air. My man JoJo posed. He pulled off a JoJo pose after taking out the pirates, and he was just unimpressed by their swordplay. Man, he's like, I'm a different breed of pirate. What a line. What a line. I can't wait to see him and Luffy face off. That's going to be epic. Something tells me it's going to probably last 20 chapters. It's going to last 20 chapters. The King of Alabaster is fine with it. And yeah, we got a new set of rules here, courtesy of Vivi. We now know how Baroque works work. Miss All Sunday. Is it probably okay? Miss All Sunday. Yeah, I mixed her. Yeah. No, I did it. I did it right. Miss All Sunday gets the Southern accent. I did it right with Mr. Zero Crocodile. Miss Doublefinger with Mr. One Bond Clay. No female. Mr. Two Bond Clay. No female partner. He doesn't want one. Mr. Three with Miss Golden Week. Mr. 4 with Miss Merry Christmas, Mr. 5 with Miss Valentine. Now, I get... Okay, it's just arbitrary. Oda went arbitrary. Valentine's Day, Christmas Day, Golden Week, which is a Japanese holiday. Double Finger, I have no idea what that holiday is. I have no idea what that holiday is. Miss All Sunday. And then we have the other days of the week: Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday. Friday is with Mr. 13, and got Mother's Day and Father's Day. That's pretty hilarious. I don't think we're gonna see all the other characters. Vivi was Miss Wednesday. No, Miss Monday. Sorry. It was Miss Monday. Yeah, we're not gonna see all the other characters. I doubt. Oh no. She said very clearly we're gonna get to see the rest. They're all gonna gather around. They're all gonna be coming together. Right there at the end of the panel. She said that's gonna happen. So it looks like. Hold on a second. Let's see what. Let me guess the matchups here. Let me see if I can guess the matchups. All right. Nami's gonna take on one of these two. No, I think Nami's gonna take on Miss All Sunday, and Vivi's gonna take on the other girl. Of course, Luffy's gonna take on Mr. Zero. Something tells me this one is a samurai, so that's probably gonna be Zolo. I could totally see Usopp taking on a big guy and freaking out. This big guy here with the screw. Mr. 3 will probably be Sanji, since he displayed martial arts. He's like my martial arts, so Sanji probably will take him on. And Chopper will probably take on this little guy here. Oh no, but what if Chopper takes on the big guy to have a big guy fight? And Usopp takes on this little guy here. Let's see here. Those are the other numbers, huh? Well, that's my theory. A manga theory. No, I'm sorry I did that. I shouldn't have done that. No, I should be ashamed of myself. I should not have done that. That was a meme. I shouldn't have meme. I'm sorry about that. Overall, this was a nice end to the Wapol arc, and a wonderful transition to the next arc, and a great start for the new one. Everything's all set, and Luffy's ready to kick butt. So, I can't wait. I can't wait for this. But unfortunately, I gotta wait for this, so... Comment, like, subscribe, follow. You know you want to. And head on over to Amazon.com and grab yourself a copy of the Impossible Man Strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the link to the book down in the description down below, along with links to other merch, such as pins, stickers, t-shirts, music. Please enjoy the products. Thank you for your patronage. And if you're interested, you can join me on my live multi-stream on Twitch and Kick every Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to hanging out with you. Okay, everybody. Until the next set of chapters, thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night. Buenas noches, and oyasuminasai.